Popular Favorites by Stan Kenton is a compilation album by pianist and bandleader Stan Kenton, featuring performances recorded between 1951 and 1953 and originally released as a 10-inch LP and 45 revolutions per minute EP on Capitol before being reissued as a 12-inch LP with additional tracks in 1955. Critical reception. The AllMusic review by Richard S. Gunnell said, "This early LP collection partially documents a period of retrenching after Kenton's innovations in modern music orchestra took a financial bath. While the album concentrates upon pop standards and an occasional cover of a then-current hit, Capitol also adds some originals from the artist's book, and thus the record becomes a tasty cross-section of the Kenton bands of the early 50s. Track listing. September Song. Kurt Weill. Maxwell Anderson. 3. 21. Delicado. Valdir Azevedo. Jack Lawrence. 2. 26. Dynaflow. Art Pepper. Stan Kenton. 3. 08. Love for Sale. Cole Porter. 3. 13. Beehive. Gene Roland. 3. 06. Francesca. Schermfeller. 2. 45. Tenderly. Walter Gross. Jack Lawrence. 3. 19. Jump for Joe. Roland. 3. 04. Harlem Nocturne. Earl Hagen. 3. 08. Taboo. Margarita Lecona. 3. 21. Laura. David Raxon. Johnny Mercer. 3. 20. Stardust. Hoagie Carmichael. Mitchell Parrish. 3. 00. Recorded at Capitol Recording Studios in Hollywood, CA on September 12, 1950. Track 4. March 20, 1951. Track 1. March 28, 1951. Track 3. May 28, 1951. Track 11. May 31, 1951. Track 8. June 28, 1951. Track 6. January 21, 1952. Track 7. March 18, 1952. Track 12. March 20, 1952. Tracks 2 and 5. September 11, 1952. Track 10. And January 22nd, 1953. Track 9. Personnel. Stan Kenton, piano. Conductor. Alfred Chico Alvarez. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11. Conte Candeli. Tracks 2, 5, 7, 9, 10 and 12. Pete Candeli. Track 7. Buddy Childers. Tracks 2, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 12. Don Dennis. Tracks 2, 5, 9, 10 and 12. Maynard Ferguson. Tracks 1, 3, 4 and 6 to 11. John Howell. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11. Reuben McFall. Tracks 2, 5, 9, 10 and 12. Jerry Munson. Track 7. Al Porcino. Track 4. Clyde Raysinger. Tracks 2, 5, 7 and 12. Shorty Rogers. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11. Jimmy Salco. Tracks 8 and 11. Ray Wetzel. Tracks 1 and 3. Trumpet. Milt Bernhardt. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11. Eddie Burt. Track 4. Harry Betts. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6 to 8 and 11. Harold Branch. Tracks 2 and 5. Bob Burgess. Tracks 9 and 10. Gerald Finch. Tracks 2, 5, 7 and 12. Bob Fitzpatrick. Tracks 1 to 8, 11 and 12. Dick Henny. Tracks 1, 3, 6 to 8 and 11. Keith Moon. Tracks 9 and 10. Frank Rossellino. Tracks 9 and 10. Bill Russo. Tracks 2, 5, 9, 10 and 12. Trombone, John Halliburton, trombone, bass trombone. Tracks 1, 3, 6 and 12. George Roberts. Tracks 2, 5, 7, 9, 10 and 12. Bart Barcelona. Track 4. Paul Wigand. Tracks 8 and 11. Bass trombone, John Grass, French horn. Track 7. Vinnie Dean. Tracks 9 and 10. Lee Konitz. Tracks 9 and 10. Dick Meldonian. Track 2, 5, 7 and 12. Lenny Niehaus. Tracks 2, 5 and 12. Art Pepper. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11. Bud Shank. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6, 8 and 11. Herbie Stewart. Track 7. Alto saxophone, Bob Cooper. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6 and 7. Bart Calderell. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6 to 8 and 11. Lee Elliott. Tracks 2, 5 and 12. Jimmy Joffrey. Track 8 and 11. Bill Holman. Tracks 2, 5, 9, 10 and 12. Richie Kamuka. Tracks 9 and 10. Tenor saxophone, Bob Gioga. Baritone saxophone, Ralph Blaze. Tracks 1 to 8, 11 and 12. Sal Salvador. Tracks 9 and 10. Guitar, Laurindo Almeida. Guitar, Cabasa. Track 2. Don Bagley. Bass, Frank Capp. Tracks 2, 5 and 12. Stan Levy. Tracks 9 and 10. Shelly Mann. Tracks 1, 3, 4, 6 to 8 and 11. Drums, Ramon Rivera. Congas. Track 4. Ken Walton. Bongos. Track 10. Vocals by band. Tracks 1, 7 and 11. Stan Kenton. Tracks 1, 3, 7 and 11. Gene Rowland. Tracks 5, 8 and 10. Pete Rugolo. Track 2, 4, 6 and 12. Bill Russo. Track 9. Arranger.